Have you ever wondered if something in your daily routine could quietly be harming your kidneys without you even realizing it? As we grow older, our bodies become more sensitive, and what once seemed harmless can slowly turn into a serious health risk. Today, I'm going to reveal one of the worst hidden poisons that may be damaging your kidneys, and more importantly, how you can protect yourself starting today. Remember, it's never too late to take control of your health. Your body has an incredible ability to heal and recover when you give it the right care. Every small step, choosing water over soda, cutting back on salt, or listening to your body, brings you closer to a stronger, healthier life. You deserve to feel energetic, independent, and vibrant at any age. Now let's take a closer look at something that may already be part of your daily routine, something so common that most people don't even think twice about it, and that is salt. Salt might seem harmless. After all, it's been part of our meals for generations. A pinch here, a sprinkle there. It enhances flavor, makes food more enjoyable, and for many of us, it's simply a habit we've carried for decades. But here's what many people over 60 don't realize. Your body today is not the same as it was 20 or 30 years ago, and your kidneys in particular are much more sensitive to the effects of excess sodium. As we age, the kidneys naturally lose some of their efficiency. They're still working hard for you every single day, filtering waste, balancing fluids, regulating important minerals, but they don't have the same resilience they once did. When too much salt enters your system, it disrupts that delicate balance. What happens is this: excess sodium causes your body to retain more water. That extra fluid increases the volume of blood in your bloodstream, which then raises your blood pressure. And high blood pressure is one of the leading causes of kidney damage. It puts constant pressure on the tiny, delicate blood vessels inside your kidneys, slowly wearing them down over time. The tricky part is that this doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow, silent process. You might feel completely fine while this is happening. No pain, no obvious warning signs, but inside your kidneys are under stress day after day. And here's where it becomes even more concerning. Most of the salt we consume doesn't actually come from the salt shaker on the table. It comes from hidden sources. Think about common foods that many people rely on for convenience. Canned soups, frozen meals, packaged snacks, deli meats, sauces, and even bread. Yes, even bread. These foods often contain high amounts of sodium to preserve flavor and extend shelf life. You might believe you're eating something simple or even healthy, but without realizing it, you could be consuming far more salt than your body can comfortably handle. For example, a single bowl of canned soup can sometimes contain nearly your entire recommended daily sodium intake. Add a slice of bread and a small snack, and you've already gone beyond what your kidneys can easily process. Now, I'm not saying you need to eliminate salt completely. Your body does need some sodium to function properly. The key is balance and awareness. One of the most powerful things you can start doing today is simply reading labels. Take a moment when you're at the grocery store. Look at the sodium content on packaged foods. You might be surprised at what you find. Once you become aware, you naturally begin to make better choices. Another gentle change you can make is how you flavor your food. If you've been used to adding salt out of habit, try pausing before reaching for it. Taste your food first. You may find it already has enough flavor. And when you do want to enhance taste, there are so many wonderful alternatives that are not only safer, but also more nourishing. Fresh herbs like basil, parsley, and cilantro can add brightness. Garlic and ginger bring depth and warmth. A squeeze of lemon can completely transform a dish, giving it a fresh, vibrant flavor without any need for extra salt. These small changes don't feel like sacrifices. In fact, many people discover that their meals become more enjoyable, more natural, and more satisfying. It's also helpful to gradually adjust your palate. If you've been consuming a high-salt diet for many years, your taste buds may be accustomed to it. But here's the encouraging part: your taste buds can adapt. Within a few weeks of reducing salt, you'll start to notice that foods you once found bland now taste just right, and foods that are overly salty may become less appealing. That's your body guiding you toward a healthier balance. Another simple habit is cooking more meals at home when possible. When you prepare your own food, you have full control over what goes into it. You don't need to guess how much sodium is hidden inside. Even simple home-cooked meals can make a significant difference over time. And remember, this isn't about being perfect. It's about being mindful. Every small step you take, choosing a lower sodium option, skipping that extra pinch of salt, adding fresh ingredients instead of processed ones, these choices add up. Your kidneys notice those choices. Your body responds to them. Over time, reducing excess salt can help lower your blood pressure, ease the strain on your kidneys, and support your overall energy and well-being. You may even find that you feel lighter, less bloated, and more in control of your health. This is one of those changes that may seem small on the surface, but it carries powerful, lasting benefits. And the most important thing to remember is this: you are not too late. Your body is always listening to how you treat it. When you begin to make gentler, healthier choices, it responds with resilience, strength, and healing. So the next time you sit down for a meal, take a moment, be aware of what's on your plate, notice the flavors, the ingredients, and the choices you're making, because something as simple as reducing salt today can protect your kidneys for years to come. Now, let's talk about something many people rely on without a second thought, especially as the body begins to feel the natural aches and pains that come with age. That is the regular use of painkillers. For many adults over 60, this can feel like a normal part of daily life. A sore back in the morning, stiffness in the knees, maybe a lingering headache, so it becomes easy to reach for a pill. It feels simple, quick, and effective. And in the moment, it often is. The discomfort fades and you can go on with your day. But here's what's important to understand. While these medications can provide temporary relief, frequent and long-term use can quietly place a heavy burden on your kidneys. Your kidneys rely on a steady, healthy flow of blood to do their job. They filter waste, remove toxins, and keep your body balanced. Certain pain medications, especially when taken regularly over time, can reduce that blood flow. When that happens, your kidneys don't receive the oxygen and nutrients they need to function properly. Think of it like watering a plant. If the water supply is reduced day after day, the plant doesn't immediately die. It slowly weakens, the leaves lose their strength, the color fades, and over time, the damage becomes harder to reverse. The same kind of slow strain can happen inside your body. What makes this especially concerning is how easy it is to fall into a routine of regular use. You might start by taking something occasionally, just on days when the pain feels a bit stronger, but then it becomes every other day, then daily, and before long, it feels like a necessary part of your routine. And because many of these medications are available without a prescription, it creates a sense of safety. It feels like, if I can buy this so easily, it must be fine to take regularly. But that's not always the case, especially for aging kidneys. Another thing many people don't realize is how these medications can build up in your system over time. Your body processes them through the liver and kidneys, and as kidney function naturally slows with age, it can take longer to clear them out. This increases the risk of damage, even at doses that once felt completely normal. You may not notice any immediate symptoms. There's often no pain or warning sign that your kidneys are under stress. And that's what makes it so important to be mindful, because by the time symptoms do appear, the damage may already be significant. Now, this doesn't mean you should never take pain relief when you truly need it. Comfort matters. Being able to move, sleep, and enjoy your day without constant discomfort is important for your quality of life. The key here is not fear, it's awareness and balance. One of the most helpful things you can do is pause and ask yourself a simple question. Is there another way I can manage this discomfort? Sometimes the answer might be yes. For example, gentle stretching in the morning can do wonders for stiffness. Just a few minutes of slow, careful movement can help loosen joints and improve circulation. A warm compress or heating pad can soothe aching muscles without putting any strain on your kidneys. Even a short walk can help reduce certain types of pain by improving blood flow and flexibility. Food can also play a role. Certain natural ingredients like turmeric, ginger, leafy greens, and omega-3 rich foods have anti-inflammatory properties that support the body from within. Over time, these choices can help reduce the frequency and intensity of discomfort. And perhaps most importantly, having a conversation with your healthcare provider can make a big difference. They can help you understand which medications are safest for you, how often they should be used, and whether there are better alternatives based on your specific needs. Sometimes even adjusting the timing or dosage can reduce the risk to your kidneys while still providing relief. Another gentle but powerful habit is becoming more aware of how often you're reaching for pain relief, not with judgment, but with curiosity. Just noticing patterns can help you make more intentional choices. You might realize, for example, that certain activities trigger discomfort, or that your body feels better on days when you move more, hydrate well, or eat lighter meals. These small observations give you the ability to respond differently instead of automatically relying on medication. And over time, those small shifts create meaningful change. Your body is incredibly wise. It's always communicating with you through sensation, through energy levels, through comfort and discomfort. When you begin to listen more closely, you often discover that there are many gentle ways to support yourself without overloading your system. Protecting your kidneys doesn't require drastic changes. It comes down to thoughtful, consistent choices. Being mindful of what you take, how often you take it, and whether there might be a softer, safer alternative. because every time you reduce unnecessary strain on your kidneys, you're giving them a better chance to keep doing their job well, quietly, faithfully, day after day. And that matters more than most people realize. So the next time you feel that provisional urge to reach for a pill, take a moment. Consider your options. Listen to your body, because sometimes the smallest pause can lead to the most powerful protection. Now, there's another factor that often goes unnoticed, yet it plays a powerful role in kidney health, something so simple that many people underestimate it, and that is hydration. Water is essential for every single function in your body, but especially for your kidneys. These remarkable organs depend on adequate fluid to filter waste, flush out toxins, and maintain the delicate balance of minerals in your bloodstream. When your body is well hydrated, your kidneys can do their job smoothly and efficiently. But when there isn't enough water, everything becomes harder. As we get older, something subtle begins to change. The body's natural thirst signal becomes less reliable. You may not feel thirsty even when your body actually needs fluids. This is very common after 60, and it can lead to a pattern where you simply don't drink enough throughout the day, not intentionally, but because your body isn't sending clear signals anymore. So you might go hours without drinking water thinking everything is fine, but inside, your kidneys are working with less fluid than they need. When that happens, the blood becomes more concentrated and waste products are harder to flush out. Your kidneys have to work harder, almost like a filter trying to clean thick, heavy liquid instead of something light and fluid. Over time, this extra effort can strain them. Dehydration doesn't always show up in obvious ways either. It's not just about feeling extremely thirsty. Sometimes it appears as mild fatigue, dry skin, headaches, or even a slight feeling of dizziness. These signs can be easy to overlook or attribute to something else. In some cases, people may even limit their fluid intake on purpose, especially if they're worried about frequent trips to the bathroom. That's completely understandable, but unfortunately, it can create a cycle where the body becomes more dehydrated, placing even more pressure on the kidneys. Now, the good news is that improving hydration is one of the simplest and most effective ways to support your kidney health, and it doesn't require any complicated changes. It starts with building a gentle habit. Instead of waiting until you feel thirsty, begin to drink water regularly throughout the day. Think of it as giving your body steady support rather than trying to catch up later. Small, consistent sips are often better than large amounts all at once. One simple approach is to keep a glass or bottle of water within reach at all times. When it's visible, you're more likely to take a sip without even thinking about it. You can place one by your bedside, another in the kitchen, and maybe one where you spend most of your time during the day. Another helpful habit is to link drinking water with daily routines. For example, have a glass when you wake up in the morning, one with each meal, and another in the afternoon. These small anchors make it easier to stay consistent without having to remember constantly. If plain water feels a bit boring, you can make it more enjoyable without adding anything harmful. A slice of lemon, a few cucumber pieces, or a bit of fresh mint can add a refreshing flavor. Herbal teas are also a lovely option, especially if you prefer something warm and soothing. It's also important to pay attention to your body's subtle signals. The color of your urine, for example, can be a simple indicator. A light, pale color usually suggests good hydration, while darker shades can mean your body needs more fluids. And while water is the best choice, you should also be mindful of drinks that can actually contribute to dehydration. Beverages with high sugar content or caffeine, when consumed in excess, can have a dehydrating effect. They may feel refreshing in the moment, but they don't provide the same support your kidneys truly need. Another gentle reminder is that hydration needs can vary depending on your environment and daily activity. On warmer days, or if you've been more active than usual, your body may require a little extra fluid. Listening and adjusting is key. What's truly encouraging is how quickly your body responds when you begin to hydrate properly. Many people notice improvements in energy, clarity, and overall comfort within just a few days of increasing their water intake. It's as if your body quietly says, "Thank you, this is exactly what I needed." And your kidneys in particular benefit greatly from this support. With enough fluid, they can filter more effectively, reduce the buildup of waste, and maintain a healthier internal balance. Think of water as a form of daily care, something gentle, consistent, and deeply supportive. It's not about forcing yourself to drink large amounts all at once. It's about creating a rhythm that feels natural and sustainable. Over time, these small, steady choices become part of your lifestyle. You don't have to think about them as much. They simply become what you do. And that's where lasting health begins. Because when you give your body what it needs in simple, consistent ways, it has an incredible ability to function better, feel better, and stay stronger for longer. So as you move through your day, keep that glass of water nearby. Take those small sips. Stay gently aware. because something as simple as staying hydrated can quietly protect your kidneys every single day. Now, let's turn to something that often feels comforting, familiar, and even harmless, but over time can quietly become one of the biggest burdens on your kidneys, and that is the regular consumption of sugary drinks and highly processed foods. For many people, these are small daily pleasures: a sweet cup of tea in the afternoon, a chilled soda with a meal, a packaged snack that's quick and easy. These choices don't feel dangerous in the moment. In fact, they often bring a sense of comfort and routine. But what matters most is not what happens once in a while, it's what happens consistently, day after day. As we age, the body becomes less efficient at managing sugar. The way your system processes glucose begins to slow down, and your cells may not respond to insulin as effectively as they once did. This can lead to higher levels of sugar circulating in your bloodstream. Over time, consistently high blood sugar can lead to serious conditions like type 2 diabetes. And diabetes is one of the leading causes of kidney damage. Your kidneys are filled with tiny filtering units, delicate structures that clean your blood. When sugar levels remain high for long periods, these filters begin to wear down. It's not something you feel immediately. There's no sudden pain or clear signal. But slowly, those filters lose their ability to function properly. Think of it like a fine mesh strainer. When it's new, it works perfectly. But if it's constantly exposed to sticky, heavy substances, it begins to clog, weaken, and eventually break down. That's very similar to what happens inside your kidneys when sugar levels are not well controlled. Sugary drinks are particularly harmful because they deliver large amounts of sugar very quickly. Unlike whole foods, which contain fiber and nutrients that slow down absorption, drinks like soda, sweetened juices, and even some flavored teas allow sugar to enter your bloodstream rapidly. This creates sharp spikes in blood sugar, followed by drops that can leave you feeling tired, irritable, or craving more sugar. It becomes a cycle that's hard to break. And it's not just about beverages. Many processed foods are packed with hidden sugars, unhealthy fats, and additives that put additional strain on your body. Biscuits, packaged desserts, ready-made meals, and even some foods labeled as low fat can contain surprising amounts of sugar to enhance flavor. What makes this challenging is that these foods are convenient. They're easy to prepare, easy to store, and often designed to taste very appealing. But convenience sometimes comes at the cost of long-term health. Now, this doesn't mean you have to completely give up everything you enjoy. The goal is not restriction, it's awareness and smarter choices. One of the simplest changes you can begin with is reducing sugary drinks. If you're used to having a soda or sweet tea every day, try gradually cutting back. You don't have to stop all at once. Even replacing one drink a day with a healthier option can make a meaningful difference. Water, as we discussed earlier, is always the best choice. But if you're looking for something with a bit more flavor, there are gentle alternatives. Infused water with slices of fruit, herbal teas, or even lightly flavored natural drinks without added sugar can satisfy that desire without overwhelming your system. Over time, your taste preferences begin to shift. What once felt normal may start to feel overly sweet, and you may find yourself enjoying more natural flavors. When it comes to food, focusing on whole, unprocessed ingredients can be incredibly beneficial. Fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, and lean proteins provide your body with the nutrients it needs without the added burden of excess sugar and chemicals. For example, if you're craving something sweet, a piece of fresh fruit can be a wonderful option. It contains natural sugars, but also fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants that support your overall health. Cooking at home, even in simple ways, can also give you more control over what you're eating. You don't need complicated recipes. Even a basic meal made from fresh ingredients can be far more nourishing than something highly processed. Another helpful habit is becoming more aware of labels. Sugar can appear under many different names: glucose, fructose, corn syrup, and more. When you begin to notice these ingredients, you naturally become more mindful of what you're putting into your body. And just like with salt, your body adapts. When you reduce your intake of sugary and processed foods, your system begins to rebalance. Energy levels can become more stable, cravings may decrease, and you may feel a greater sense of clarity and well-being. Most importantly, you're reducing one of the major risk factors for kidney damage. Your kidneys don't ask for much. They simply need a steady, supportive environment to do their work. When you lower your intake of excess sugar and processed foods, you're giving them exactly that. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. Small, consistent changes that you can maintain over time. And every time you choose something natural over something processed, every time you replace a sugary drink with a healthier option, you are making a decision that supports your future health. Your body responds to those decisions in quiet but powerful ways. So as you go about your day, take a moment to notice what you're drinking, what you're eating, and how it makes you feel. Give yourself the chance to choose differently, one step at a time. because protecting your kidneys can begin with something as simple as what you reach for each day. If you found this helpful, I'd love for you to support the channel. Give this video a like, share it with a friend or loved one who might benefit, and don't forget to subscribe for more simple, practical health tips designed especially for you. Take care of your kidneys, and they'll take care of you. I'll see you in the next video.